Now, in the absence of our person from the Washington Post, and by God, I'm going to get the circulation up, might I ask Jennifer Dargan from CNN to please come up here. Now, Jonathan was not talking about you when he was being critical. Now, we will, I'll read the citation, give the award in the honor of Fareed Zakaria, and then we will see him from Canada. Now, I understand, he's in Canada now. I am told reliably he has not fled the country, but he will be coming back. He will be coming back. Why, I don't know, but there you are. Okay. Each generation needs its Murrow, its Cronkite, its Severide to help make sense of the world, forthright and honest, and earning our trust. Needed even more in rough times than the smooth. Our generation is blessed with Fareed Zakaria, constant, unbiased voice of reason as we face together the most difficult times in memory for sorting out fact from fiction. As the world and America's place in it are all changed utterly, we are challenged and guided in our thinking by this inestimable analyst and commentator. Inspiration at Time, Newsweek, The Washington Post, and Foreign Affairs, author of In Defense of Liberal Education and Other Shafts of Light. With his knack for understanding and explaining matters at home and abroad, Fareed Zakaria is unsurpassed in helping us get safely through this most trying time for the Republic and democracy's future. So we're going to applaud him with our honor here. And I'll give the plaque to her, and I'm also going to give her the check, and how much of it shows up with Fareed, that's between you and him. Thank you very much. Now, I gather, Mr. Chairman, you're going to orchestrate seeing our honoree on the video.
Greetings all. I want to thank the American Academy of Diplomacy for this extraordinary honor. I am humbled, I am flattered, I'm thrilled. I am also very sorry not to be able to join you in person. As you are having your wonderful meal in that gorgeous room that I know well, I am at an airport somewhere. So you are certainly in better circumstances than I am, but I very much wish I could be there. I'm delighted that Richard is going to accept the award for me on behalf of the Washington Post and myself, because the Post has been such an important platform and institution for the dissemination of ideas that I think it is only fitting. I wanted to just take a moment to talk to you about the times we're living in. About 20-odd years ago, I wrote an article in Foreign Affairs called The Rise of Illiberal Democracy. And I talked about how governments around the world were, with democratic sanction, having won elections, hollowing out the inner core, the inner stuffing of democracy, a key component of which was the freedom of press. That trend has only accelerated. It has only gotten worse in countries like Russia, but even in countries like Turkey, which have a much stronger democratic structure and tradition than did Russia. The devastating surprise to me, to many of us, has been that in the last few years we have faced the same challenges in the United States. Some of them come from a society that has become less trusting, more skeptical, more selective, more biased, frankly, in the way in which it consumes news and information. Some of it in recent months has come from the President of the United States and from his administration. It is not a partisan point to make that the press is under a greater assault from the administration in Washington right now than at any point I can recall, certainly since the darkest days of Watergate, and perhaps even including that. I hope it passes. I hope that this kind of normalizes and we move on to a much more normal adversarial relationship in which government can disagree and contest what the media may report, but it does not attack the existence of a free media. That is a dangerous place for the United States to be, and particularly tragic since the United States often tells other countries how to conduct themselves, particularly with regard to the preservation of the freedom of press. I do think that these kinds of awards, this kind of recognition, not for me personally, but for the media in general, for institutions within the media, is enormously helpful. We're all fighting in our own small ways, and what you do is enormously helpful. I also want to say that I hope you mean this award to be given in this spirit, and certainly I accept it in the spirit of it being for the institutions that make possible a career like mine and a voice like mine to be heard. I've been blessed to have been supported by CNN, The Washington Post, in previous incarnations, Newsweek, and Time. And I think it's important to remember when some of these institutions and organizations are under financial, economic stress, technology changes them, business models changes, and now political stress, that the people involved here are extraordinarily intelligent, civic-minded, important parts of American democracy, that we would all be much poorer as a society if we did not have institutions like the Washington Post and CNN. Many countries don't, and you have a very different political, economic, intellectual, moral landscape as a result. So I am enormously grateful to all the people who have supported me and allowed me to get my 2 cents into the debate. I am deeply grateful that you think that those 2 cents are worthwhile. I wish you all a tremendous lunch, an award ceremony, and again, my deepest apologies that I couldn't be there. All best wishes.